What's up, guys? The Inhumans trailer came out, and I can't wait. Oh no. I'm Joe Starr, and this is ScreenJunkies News. The Inhumans trailer, it came out, and it sure is a trailer. I got Matt Key with me, and there's superheroes in the trailer, I guess. They're Marvel superheroes, and they're in it. All right, I can't. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm sort of. What was that? Okay, we got some things to work out. We're kind of grieving this trailer, so we're gonna go through the 5 stages of grief with the saddest man in the building right now, Matt Key. Hey, Matt, how you holding up?
Wish I could be better, Joe.
I wish you could too.
I'm real sad about this one, man.
Look, Matt, before we get into just really the meat of this, tell me who the Inhumans are.
The Inhumans are the incredible creation of Jack Kirby in the 60s. They premiered in Fantastic Four number 45. And they are essentially humans, like a prehistoric race of humans who came into contact with Kree alien DNA and were created by the Kree to be these incredible like outpost sentries for their empire. They're incredible soldiers and architects and thinkers and philosophers. And they are the most Kirby that Jack Kirby has ever done. And they've been on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And we know that sort of from the business sort of perspective of these characters, it was a movie, and then it was just gone.
Then it was just gone.
And then it was going to be a show, and then it was then they're going to put it on a show, but they're still going to put it on IMAX for
2 weeks,
for 2 weeks,
3 weeks.
And,
it was all shot on IMAX apparently.
And here we are. So, buddy, let's get through the 5 stages here, and I want to talk about denial. At what point did you know that, were you really starting to kind of question what you were watching, and this isn't that great?
I can tell you exactly when.
When?
24 seconds in.
That's not long.
No, it is not long for a 90-second trailer. 24 seconds in, we see Earth, we hear Maximus talking, and I'm like, all right, I don't hate this so far. We see the moon. Oh, the Inhumans are definitely on the moon.
That is where they live.
That's where they live most of the time. That's cool. And then 24 seconds in, you see that picture that they just showed of Black Bolt, played by Anson Mount, looking sad. Real sad and real pouty, and he looks scared and whipped, and I don't know why, because Black Bolt is none of those things.
No, and I've also I watched a lot of I watched Hell on Wheels. Anson Mount never made a pouty face once on Hell on Wheels. No. He is a man's man, and it is inhuman for him to make a pouty face.
Yeah, and when they I'm getting angry, and I'm sorry,
well,
we're not there yet.
That's a good transition, buddy. Let's get there. Let's talk about your anger.
Why is he pouty? He's like Anson Mount is an incredible actor, and he's angry, and he's great at it, and he has a presence, and that's Black Bolt. And when they first announced it, that's what I thought I was gonna get. And now he's pouty.
And now he's in. Let's get through this, man. Now he's in Hawaii.
Look, he's in Hawaii. That makes no sense. Like when you hear like drama, and then they get to Hawaii, and it was like it's like a tonal shift. I was expecting it to be like some weird like rom-com like. Hey, here's Black Bolt and his giant bulldog buddy Lockjaw. Here they go.
Lockjaw puts his paws over his eyes.
Yeah, he's like, what? And then he's like wearing sunglasses. I was like, what is this? What is this? And then we're still talking about Black Bolt. The grunt. Like he at the very end of the trailer, he gets like gut punched or something, and he goes, ugh. And it's like, and like my comic book brain, I'm like, oh my God, he
just blew up that island.
He uttered a word. Like he just decimated like so much, and you see one solitary police car tumble over, and I was like the other, he shatters like he's like Banshee can do that, but Banshee is he's got a sonic scream. Black Bolt can level mountains with his voice. His mom and dad put him in a chamber until he was 16 to control his power. Because he didn't know he was a kid.
So, but you don't even think that maybe like we're even just sort of hitting the Black Bolt character correctly at all?
No, not at all. He's in the Anson Mount, great actor. Maybe he's suffering from poor directing, and Scott Buck, who we'll get to later, but he's got 3 main faces in this. He's got, I hope we have him here. Am I pooping my pants?
Yep.
I pooped my pants.
Check.
Can they tell I just pooped my pants? Those are his three main faces. Those are the if you go and watch this entire trailer, you will see those are the three main faces he makes. Am I pooping? I pooped. Can they tell I pooped?
So, Matt, I know that, we've talked about a little bit, with the Thor Ragnarok trailer and with the Black Panther trailer. They look real Kirby.
Yeah, they're so Kirby.
And this is supposed to be a very Kirby property.
Inhumans is as Kirby as it gets. Like Jack Kirby, like he had a flair for like the dramatic and like very colorful and like wacky out there machines that do crazy wackadoo things. We all loved them. And we don't get any of that. First of all, the Inhumans, can we see a shot of all of the Inhumans and how they look? Yeah, they're so inhuman. Look at them. They're all so inhuman. Let me show you some examples of what the Inhumans actually typically look like. Just pull up some random ones. Yeah, we've got this guy. His name is Avion. He is a human pterodactyl with angel wings. All right, Avion. That is, I think it's either George Perez or Jack Kirby. It's early black art. Can we see another one? Yeah, there we got a guy named San. He can create organic clay and then kind of mold it to go do his thing. And look at him. He's got weird tendrils on his face. He looks kind of like an octopus. I think I pulled one more here. Yeah, Iridia is how I've already. She's a butterfly.
She's a butterfly lady.
Those are Inhumans. And look at Karnak and Medusa's hair, and you got Gorgon up in the corner and Triton. Those are the Inhumans.
So we're saying even with unnamed characters, the biggest mistake the makeup department could have made was not do anything to them.
Yeah, they were like, here are the Inhumans. They live on the moon. That's good enough, right? No, it's not.
Here's your gray cloak. Move along.
And Adelan, I'm sorry. Adelan looks like this brutalist concrete.
That's their moon.
Yeah, look, there's a centaur. I forgot about the centaur there. That's another Inhuman. And then look at Adelan up there. Look at Adelan. It looks so nice and peaceful and wonder. And come on, man. We didn't see any of that. There's people flying around.
So let's compare that. Let's look at actual Adelan. Let's move to the next image.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. It looks like this weird apartment complex in Valley Village.
Yeah,
like it doesn't look anything like Adelan in the comics. It doesn't look like they're on the moon.
Yeah, it definitely looks like they could drive to a pottery barn.
Yeah, and their dining room looks like it was bought at Pottery Barn. Thank you for saying that.
No, you're very welcome. That we've got guys using people that should be centaurs and butterfly people probably shouldn't be using space guns.
Apartment complex here, and then we've got space guns. They're Inhumans. They can do so many more things. Medusa's hair is a weapon. Why do they have guns, and why do they look like normal? Like, I could see that in the American military. Like, they wouldn't have anything like that.
So, Matt, let me ask, who are you mad at?
There's so many. All right. Scott Buck is the main
I mean, about Inhumans, not life.
In life, I'm typically a very nice
That's
and
a different
lovely,
video.
wonderful human being, I think. But Scott Buck and Jeff Loeb, like, first of all, Scott Buck is the guy who did Iron Fist. He was a showrunner on that. Totally messed that up. At least in my opinion. Iron Fist is a show about a dude who has mystical powers that he got from a dragon in a mystical hidden city. And we didn't see a mystical dragon, many of his powers, or the mystical city at all. And it sounds like that's exactly what we're seeing here.
Well, we're definitely not seeing butterfly people.
We're definitely not seeing butterfly people or pterodactyl angel wingmen. And we're definitely not seeing Adelan. We're seeing brutalist architecture.
Yeah. So Scott Buck, but then there's a guy that hired
Jeff Loeb.
Jeff Loeb
Hired him. Jeff Loeb should have known Iron Fist was going to be a mess because he was seeing the dailies. He should have known. He should have known from the very beginning that this was going to be a mess. However, despite all that, he still hired Scott Buck to do the Inhumans.
Which should be a higher
know
profile.
better.
Yeah, this should be a higher profile project.
Yeah, Jeff Loeb is a comic book writer. He's the head of Marvel Television. He should know better than this.
So, buddy, let's get into the next stage of grieving. Let's talk bargaining. What can Marvel do to sort of regain their footing here? Do you think there's any promise at all for the future of this show?
I mean, maybe it links up to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a cool way. They have the Inhumans on their show, and they've used it to moderate success. It's been at least they had Inhumans who looked a little funky a couple times.
Although I feel like maybe it links is like the saddest.
Yeah, I know. I'm digging.
Thing.
Here's the bigger point. It's just a trailer. The effects probably aren't 100% done. For all we know, the story is going to dazzle us and we're all going to be like, we've never seen narrative structure so good. I doubt it, but it's just a trailer.
Sure.
I'll still give it a chance.
So our optimistic hope then is that for this franchise where they're doing something that's never been done really before with TV shot on IMAX and the premiere being screened on IMAX, they chose not to put their best foot forward for the marketing. Okay,
Yes.
that is our hope. That just this
it's
is
an
being
ironic
marketed
hope, but it
horribly.
is our hope.
Buddy, we got to get into it. Let's depression, man. What made you the most sad in this trailer?
I mean, there's a lot that makes me angry, but the saddest thing is for me, or one of them, is that if you don't know the Inhumans, which is 100% of the human race, saved like 100 people, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
like people are watching this going, so the guy from Game of Thrones who's a jerk is a jerk here also, and there's a pouty guy who poops his pants, and they end up in Hawaii with a giant dog and a lady with red hair. Like, and one guy stomps his foot, and there's like a sound wave, I guess. Like, that's what people who don't know the Inhumans who just saw.
I do agree with this. Marvel usually does a really good job of giving an elevator pitch in their trailer. Like, here's Wakanda. It's crazy. No one knows it's there.
Yeah.
Everybody just thinks it's a crappy country. Really, look at what it is.
Yeah.
This movie, this trailer, I'm a comic book savvy guy, and even I have to pause a lot of the time on the Inhumans and go, what's the deal?
Most people do.
Yeah.
Most people do. And the only reason I don't is just because I love Jack Kirby, so I read this stuff when I was younger. But, like, they didn't do the best. They did not put their best foot forward, and that depresses me because there's such a rich history to the Inhumans. There's such a rich culture to the Inhumans. There's so much to love about the Inhumans, and they're trying, like Marvel, for better or worse, seems to be trying to make Inhumans their X-Men.
Yeah, that has been sort of the rumor mill over the past couple of years, that since Fox has the X-Men license, that in the comics they've really sort of been trying to overshadow the X-Men with the Inhumans. So that being said, how do the Inhumans, who they seem to be setting up as big power players, how does this affect the MCU moving forward? These characters, the story.
I don't know. I have no, I pride myself on being a guy who can look through this stuff. Like even with X-Men Apocalypse, I was like, hey, movie wasn't great, but I enjoyed these parts of it.
Yeah.
And I cannot do that with this.
I agree with you. I mean, I got through about half of this trailer. By the time this trailer's about half over, I was like, oh, this gets half a season at most. Like I bet the back half of this gets released on Blu-ray. Yeah. At least in the good old days, that's how they would have. In my day,
back in my day,
this would have it would have been released as a Pizza Hut exclusive. So, buddy, let's get to the fifth stage, acceptance. Hey, bud, what was your favorite part of the trailer? Let's accept. This is the Inhumans. What was the good part of the trailer?
We're left with. Best part of the trailer. There were a couple parts.
Okay.
I love Maximus's casting. I think that's probably the best casting.
I love the casting. I didn't like anything I saw him do in that trailer.
His accent was a little off. I don't understand why they chose that accent. It seemed to kind of go back and forth a little bit. That being said, I do like the casting, and I trust that actor to handle it a whole lot. I thought that what we're seeing right now is pretty cool. He's got kind of that bowl that he's in, that dish. I think that sort of amplifies his power, which I think is kind of cool. It's like, if we ever need to destroy the Earth, put Black Bolt in that dish. And I'm like,
in his turret.
That's pretty cool. Like, turn the moon into a Death Star with Black Bolt. I'm on board for that. That's awesome. I hope they don't do it because I don't want the Earth to be destroyed. But it's a cool concept, right? And
at this point, does a civilization that makes this trailer deserve on its own planet?
No, it does not. Lastly, Lockjaw. Lockjaw is one of my favorite Inhumans. He's just a giant bulldog. If you know me at all, then you know bulldogs are what, it's a direct line to my heart.
Like, it's just bulldogs?
But just bulldogs in general. If I see a bulldog, you can ask my wife, and you know my wife, she will vouch. I will fall to the ground and worship the bulldog. Look, I will play with the bulldog.
I don't think you're alone, because the internet seems to be really holding on to the cute dog aspect of this trailer. Like, if nothing else, Lockjaw, and maybe they'll release a plushie of it. Matt, I hope.
They probably will. And I like Lockjaw. The teleportation, it looked, I kind of call it Picassoing, because it kind of looks like he just sort of paints out of the scene and paints into the next one. So he kind of Picasso's out, Picasso's in.
Like that.
I mean, the CGI looks a little off because nothing with this trailer can look good. But if that's the redeeming thing, at least Lockjaw and Maximus look all right.
Buddy, I'm glad we could work out through some of your issues here.
Thank you, Joe.
It's going to be okay, Matt.
Thank you, Joe. I hope it is.
Hey, Matt, it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Fair enough.
Hey, guys, let us know in the comments below what you thought about the Inhumans trailer. This is a time to be tender with each other. Be sweet, be human, really help each other through this. Hold hands, come together, and just talk each other through this. If you love the trailer, olive branch to someone who is hurt and broken by it.
Help me, please.
Yeah, help the Matt Keys of the world. Thank you so much for watching. Click around here for more Screen Junkies news. Click that bell for updates on Matt's emotional stabilities and other instant notifications of all our latest breaking news. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.